Hey yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Black Privilege, and I just got into this like heated discussion with some crazy chick about that video I made on black crime. And it seems that every time I try to bring up the subject, every time I try to bring reverence to the life of a black man, I get some kind of fucking insults thrown my way, the Uncle Tommin', the shoe shining, and I realize that people don't want to focus on that issue. You know what? And I'm about to give up. On top of all that, there's some people that are financially incentivized that we never address the problem. How you doing, Tariq Nasheed? So I'm just going to maybe shift the focus a little bit, all right? So instead of talking about black on black crime, how about we talk about how we get black men away from the underground economy? You know, your drug dealing, your gun running, your violence for hire, your prostitution, all that. How are we going to make working for a living wage more sensible than all that fast money and the fast life that's going to get them sex, masculine validation, and whatnot? I'm all ears. If you have a solution to that, hit me up on the comment section. Catholic Church. You know, I'm hearing a lot of things about young black men saying, "Oh, we're walking away from the church. The church is a tool of white oppression." It's like, well, there's another church y'all don't want to talk about. I mean, there's some dudes that's every Saturday night, they out there paying tithes to that minister in a G-string called a stripper because that stripper's validating their manhood. Now, there's something spiritual to what strippers do for men. Y'all might want to check that out because, like, y'all really just went from one church to the other, and I didn't want to call y'all out on that because I ain't no snitch. But hey, let's have this conversation then. Coons. Instead of calling this person a coon because he cares about black on black crime, instead of calling that person an Uncle Tom and a sellout, instead of freaking pointing out black men who want to try and solve the problem, how about we try to talk about what is the appropriate level of conformity to a power structure? What is good conformity to the white power structure? Is the drug dealer that killed Laquan McDonald's? Was it Laquan McDonald? No, it was Tyshawn Lee. When Tyshawn Lee got killed, because of the sins that his father did. You know, where was the coons in the protests then? When Laquan McDonald was being molested and raped by his mother's boyfriends, where was all the protests then? Y'all wanted your righteous indignation. Y'all wanted to call people coons who talked against you. And then y'all want to ignore all the other problems that's going on in the black community. So tell me, what is the appropriate level of conformity to the white power structure? I'm all ears. I'd like to know. Police shootings. Instead of worrying about police shooting so much, what are we going to do to stop the heightened crime that happens after Black Lives Matter comes through, scares the cops go home, and Roscoe, Ray Ray, and Pookie start shooting up the place? How are we going to police our own? Questions that I would love for y'all to tell me because I'm an uneducated coon and whatnot. And then here's the most important thing. Instead of this mindless consumerism that we always push on each other about the Bentleys and the Rolexes and all that shit, I think it's time that we start asking ourselves, is white capitalism going to rescue the African American community? Personally, I don't think so. I think there's going to be a time where we realize that not only are we far behind everyone else, but we don't have the infrastructure, we don't have the means to actually challenge any race of human beings, because the Muslims come to this country and they will work from the bottom with assistance of their family and friends to come to the top. Same thing with the Africans and everyone else. I don't think capitalism is going to save us, especially consumerism. I don't think like flossing and giving money to German auto dealerships or Gulf Streams and buying shit that don't support the African American community. I don't think that's going to help us. We're not even salesmen for these people, and we're giving them our money. The money is leaving our communities. Worse yet, industrialization is fucking us up harder than anyone else. If there is going to be a communalism, not communism, but communalism, where men are actually given orders to work a long day, come home and feed their family with that shit, it's not going to come from capitalism. It's going to come from some kind of centralized governmental authority. And at what point are we going to say, you know what, we need to be part of that governmental body? Men could very well need affordable housing so they won't have to lie to women to have a place to stay. Or they might not lose their fucking minds after they lose their jobs and have to sleep on the trains. You know what? There's so many things that we do not talk about that is more important than what black women are dating, who's beautiful, if Lupita Nyong'o should be playing this character or that character or movies or whatnot. I mean, you know what? On second thought, never mind. Let's go back to talking about Steve Harvey being a coon or Ray Lewis or Hillary Clinton or whatever. Talk about whatever you want. I'm just going to leave by saying this. I said it before and I'll say it again. Spirituality fuels fraternity. Fraternity fuels patriarchy. Patriarchy fuels prosperity. We have to come up with a solution to find all these things and put them together to make a prosperous African-American community. And maybe we need to stop dogging each other out in the process. It's your boy, Black Privilege. I'm out.